What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Buzz Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Olympic gold medalist, retired, legendary, iconic, Hall of Fame, superstar boxer, turned colorful boxing analyst and pundit, Andre SOG Ward, first ballot Hall of Famer, retired undefeated, retired very early in his career, 32 wins, no loss, no draw, 16 wins by way of knockout. He stood at 6 feet tall with a 71-inch arm reach. He's a two-division world champion, Olympic gold medalist, the last male to be an Olympic gold medalist, okay? With that said, Andre Ward was featured on Max on Boxing on ESPN. Okay, Andre Ward is a colorful boxing pundit and analyst for top-ranked legendary promoter CEO Bob Arum and ESPN. Andre Ward and Max Kellerman, they were discussing undefeated three-division world champion who simultaneously at one point in time held the WBA super title at super featherweight, the WBA regular title at lightweight, the WBA regular title at junior welterweight. Superstar boxer Gervonta Davis, who is now 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 26 big wins by way of knockout. He is 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. He took on and defeated now still WBA super featherweight world champion, former undefeated super featherweight Hector Garcia, who is Olympian himself. Hector Garcia came into the fight last Saturday, January 7th, against Gervonta Davis with a record of 16 wins, no loss, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout. 31 years of age, 5'9" with a 67-inch arm reach. Gervonta Davis, he got a ninth round stoppage victory after he clipped Hector Garcia with a big left hand that saw Hector Garcia temporarily lose sight in his right eye and also instantly have a headache and a concussion. That's how hard Gervonta Davis hits. Andre Ward, he and Max Kellerman, they discussed Gervonta Davis and a possible showdown with undefeated lightweight junior welterweight Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia, who is 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout, 24 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. And Andre Ward, he stated that, it's about time now that Gervonta Davis focus on the legacy. The money comes, okay? He says the money comes, and that's all well and dandy, but at some point in time, you got to focus on legacy and you got to start having 50-50 fights. You have to fight, some guys that people actually feel like you have an opportunity and a chance to lose those fights. He said that, Gervonta Davis is following the blueprint of retired, legendary, iconic Hall of Fame superstar who went into the Hall of Fame same class as Andre Ward, and that being Floyd Mayweather Jr., who retired also undefeated, 50 wins, no loss, no draw, 27 wins by way of knockout, 5'8" with a 72-inch arm reach. So he said he's following the model and the game plan, the blueprint of Floyd Mayweather as far as selling tickets and being a massive draw. And now he's already done that. Now it's time for Gervonta Davis to actually start taking on 50-50 fights, right? He stated that the April 15th Las Vegas showdown that's being proposed between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia is not truly a 50-50 fight, but it's a challenging fight. It's the biggest fight in Gervonta Davis's career, and he stated that now is the time to focus on legacy, or essentially people won't remember you as the time moves on, right? And so I agree with Andre Ward, to a degree, right? Because Gervonta Davis is still young. He's 28 years of age, and that's what Andre Ward stated, that he's still young. There's still time for him to make a name for himself and still fight these big fights, obviously, right? But like Andre Ward said, it's the time is now for him to start having these big fights. Okay. So this is what Andre Ward had to say. He said, I think Gervonta Davis, quote, he said, I think Gervonta Davis has to step it up in the 50-50 category, right? He said he gets through Ryan Garcia, which is no given. And I think, other fighters are waiting for him on the other end, right? So he's saying that once he gets through, Ryan Garcia, then there's other big fights on waiting for him on the other end. And then he stated that, he said this quote, personally, me, I love the money. I've been in heavy negotiations where you're fighting for every dime. You got to get your money. Don't sacrifice that for legacy. But at a certain point, you've got to be in some 50-50 matchups, right? Then he goes on to say, he said, that's the easiest way to look at fighters' resumes, to look at their record, okay? And so He said, and took a look at the names on the records. You got to ask yourself how many 50-50 matchups you've been in where you're not on point, you can lose, right? So he's saying how many 50-50 fights have Gervonta Tank Davis been in that he can say that, I could actually lose this fight, right? And he's saying that, Andre Ward is saying don't sacrifice the money, but at some point in time, now you got to start looking at these 50-50 matchups, right? And I agree with Andre Ward. Now, the thing about it is, how many actual 50-50 fight and matchups is there for Gervonta Tank Davis out there outside of now Andre Ward? He made mention of names like undefeated two-division world champion, Olympic silver medalist, former unified super featherweight world champion, superstar boxer Shakur Stevenson, who has a record of 19 wins, no loss, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout. He is 25 years of age, 5'8", with a 68-inch arm reach, and is a southpaw. Amateur pedigree is at an all-time high. Great fighter, right? And also undefeated, undisputed lightweight world champion, superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney. Devin Haney is 29 wins, no loss, no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. He is 24 years of age, 5'9.5", with a 72-inch arm reach. So he named those two names. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, then he went on to say, there's also other guys on that list. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, two-time junior welterweight world champion, superstar boxer Regis Rougarou Prograis, who's the WBC junior welterweight world champion. Then there's undefeated lightweight superstar title contender, or star title contender, should I say. He's not a superstar yet, and Frank the Ghost Martin. Then he may mention a former undisputed junior welterweight world champion, British superstar boxer Josh Taylor. And then, he also mentioned a guy by the name of Roman Villa, William Cepeda and Vasil Lomachenko. Now, Roman Villa, and also on this list of names was Jerron Boots Ennis, Terrence Crawford. Those names are not realistic. Those guys are welterweights. Roman Villa is a welterweight. Terrence Crawford, Boots Ennis, those are welterweights. Okay, Gervonta Tank Davis is not going to go up to 147 no time soon. Vasil Lomachenko, two-time Olympic gold medalist, three-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, Ukrainian superstar boxer, is a name. I think that it looks like Lomachenko and Devin the Dream Haney are going to fight May 20th on pay-per-view. That's a massive showdown. I think Devin Haney's going to win that fight. I don't think that after Devin Haney beats Lomachenko, it's not a 50-50 fight for Gervonta Tank Davis. I think Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney's a 50-50 fight. Regis Rougarou Prograis, Josh Taylor are 50-50 fights for Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't believe that William Cepeda, and I like William Cepeda's undefeated lightweight title contender. I don't think he's a 50-50 fight for Gervonta Tank Davis. I think Gervonta Tank Davis should be heavily favored over William Cepeda. Also, Lomachenko, again, like I said, Lomachenko is not a 50-50 fight. I guess for namesake, but he loses to Devin Haney. Is he truly a 50-50 fight? And then you have Teofimo Lopez. I like Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. Those are 50-50 fights for Gervonta Tank Davis. Outside of those guys, there's not many 50-50 fights for Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, I believe those are legacy fights for him. Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Josh Taylor, and Regis Rougarou Prograis, right? And those are fights that should be made, seeing as though he can campaign at 140. So those are definitely fights that should be made, and should be 50-50 fights. But William Cepeda is not a 50-50 fight for Gervonta Tank Davis. And I do believe that at this stage of Gervonta Tank Davis' career, it's time for him to have those 50-50 fights. Ryan Garcia is going to be a massive test, who has a 5-inch height advantage, 3-inch arm reach advantage, has extreme hand speed and power in both hands. But he's flat-footed, right? So Tank Davis is the total package as a southpaw. Now, his disadvantage is going to be his height, right? He's just smaller than, Ryan Garcia, but he packs a punch just like Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan Garcia slightly has faster hands than Gervonta Tank Davis, but it's going to be a very good fight, right? I don't know how much of that fight is considered to be 50-50, seeing as though Ryan Garcia has never fought for a world title, and obviously you have to be in it to win it. So he's never won a world title. So we have to see, how that plays out. We never seen Ryan. We saw Ryan Garcia face adversity when he was floored by Olympic gold medalist, British lightweight star title contender Luke Campbell. in that fight. He got up and then stopped Luke Campbell in the 7th round of that fight. And he was floored in that fight by a left hand, right? Outside of that Luke Campbell fight, he did fight, you know, you know, uh, um, Javier Fortuna, who's a rough, rugged fighter, but his game plan was terrible to say the least. So we don't know what the test that Ryan Garcia. We haven't seen him in tough tests, in tough against any champions, on this level. So we got to see how it unfolds. But as far as uh, uh, Gervonta Davis being in, 50-50 fights, I think there's only 4 50-50 fights for him, and I think that's Devin Haney Shakur, Regis Prograis, and Josh Taylor. So let's see how these all unfolds and plays out. I like him and Jack Catterall as well. I don't think it's a 50-50 fight, but it'll be a strong test for him. So let's see how it unfolds. And I agree with Andre Ward. Don't sacrifice the money. But at some point in time, you got to bridge the two gaps. And when you also look at it from a standpoint when Floyd Mayweather's blueprint, Floyd Mayweather built his legacy and got the money. He did both. He beat more world champions than anybody in the history of sport of boxing while getting the biggest bag that anybody's gotten in the history of sport of boxing. So let's see how it unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.